The Danube Delta, the largest wetlands in Europe, are located in between Ukraine and Romania. These wetlands are home for more than 300 bird species and more than 90 fish species. These wetlands also serve as the largest water purification system for Europe. This is a process that happens naturally within the wetlands. The wetlands are also very important for local communities that rely heavily on fishing and tourism, both activities that are really important in the preservation of the wetlands. These wetlands are a natural world heritage declared by UNESCO in 1991.
During February of this year, Ukraine announced to deepen the Bastroi Canal, a canal in the mouth of the Danube River, from 3.9 meters to 6.5 meters. According to Yuri Baskov, Ukraine's Deputy Minister of Restoration, this project, quote, is in the economic interest of Ukraine and unnecessary in the medium term, end of quote. Romania expressed its concern on the environmental impact that the dredging of this canal will have on the Danube Delta. Ukraine firstly stated that it will only be a maintenance procedure only in the Ukrainian borders, aiming to rely on the EU Trans-European Transport Network in order to receive funding from the European Union for the maintenance of this route.
The main actors in this dispute are Ukraine and Romania, in which Ukraine is using geopolitics in order to gain some economic power by controlling and expanding the capacity of this location, so it can bring stability to their position in the international system after Russia's invasion. Romania is a state that continuously cooperates with Ukraine. Therefore, they are seeking for mutual benefits, but in the long term, while Ukraine is seeking for short to medium term benefits that can help with the crisis caused by the invasion of Russia.
The European Union and the United Nations are the actors that might need to intervene in order to regulate Ukraine's projects and aspirations and to bring security to the environment. Prime Minister Nicolae Tsiuka from Romania and the Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Kubrakov are also the main actors that are having encounters in order to work out a solution for the dispute that would benefit both states.
In 2004, Ukraine initiated the expansion of a pre-existing shipping canal in the Danube Delta with an investment of $37 million to allow shipping container ships to pass into a larger existing navigation channel. At this time, environmental scientists expressed their concerns on the impact on biodiversity, and geologists on the effects that an increase in the discharge from the Danube River can cause, such as coastal erosion. According to Sampleni, a threat with a lawsuit of International Court of Justice appeared when Romania learned about Ukraine's dredging. The project was finally stopped after the UN and the EU condemned the project for the direct threat to the ecosystem of a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Ukraine's access to the Black Sea port were blocked by Russia, limiting the main routes of commerce Ukraine had. Therefore, as reported by Nexudu, Ukraine was forced to start relying on the Bastroi Canal as an alternative route. Since then, Ukraine's exports have reached 1.5 million tons, and if the project continues, they could add 500,000 tons more. Ukraine's Minister of Reconstruction stated that another of the highlights of the project is that the country will be able to provide more efficient navigation between the bodies of water Black Sea and the Danube Delta.
One of the main concerns of experts and the Romanian government officials is that the flow of the Danube Delta will be altered with the dredging of the Bastroi Canal. The effects of these changes could affect part of the delta that is in Romanian soil. The sources of water for the irrigation is one of the main topics of this conflict, since the change in the water flow could generate limited access or total loss of irrigation channels in the region, especially affecting small producers and local families.
According to liberalism, it can be noticed that even though security is one of the factors that are important to Ukraine, it has more interest aside of it. Trade and economic interests are Ukraine's other main priorities for their stability. Economic power or position can be more beneficial than military. Therefore, the constant pursuit of cooperation with other actors, such as the European Union, in order to promote their project, as it's not only possible but very beneficial. In a variable sum world, Romania understands the importance of this project for Ukraine. However, they still believe that it's better to make agreements of mutual benefits rather than taking away from the environment. The intervention of institutions might be for the better in order to mediate the cooperation and reduce the tensions or possible threats that Ukraine and Romania might sense from each other.
In the following years, it is possible that other actors such as IGOs will intervene in Ukraine's project, as it involves a natural heritage zone that needs to be protected due to effects that human-caused climate change has had. Ignoring Romania's concerns would be another human contribution to the climate change continuity and a further harm for the environment. According to liberalist theorists, cooperation may be the solution for this conflict, as there are mutual interests involved. The intervention of the EU's trans-European transport network might help, not only to justify and fund Ukraine's project, but to try to look for alternatives to the Ukraine's shipping problem. It is unfortunate that the Russian aggression and armed conflict towards Ukraine nowadays. However, it does not justify to destroy a rich ecosystem full with natural resources, with a project that has the capacity to affect communities that rely on them and had absolutely no involvement in the Russian-Ukraine conflict.